Hey guys, this is Sakia Bowman. She is the student body officer vice president. So basically for
That was pretty wordy, but yeah.
Preston High School, that's high school we go to, she is the vice president of like the exec club.
Yep.
Yes. And I am the junior class vice president. Yeah, that's about school affects our general community or vice versa.
That's such a hard question. Like, seriously, does the school affect the community or does the community affect the school? And that's something crazy to think about that I've never thought about before. Because, like, the basketball games, the whole entire community shows up.
Yeah.
Is it because the school? Like, it's crazy.
I think it's definitely like back and forth. Like it can go either way, but at the same time, like it goes back to like the families affect the families affect the nation, because like the families, they have kids in the school,
Mm-hmm.
and then their parents come to the things,
Yeah.
and then it's sort of just like you were saying, it's back and forth. So it's not even just one or the other. It's a mutualistic relationship.
Like, it's just like this built thing. Like, the parents are like hyping up their kids, like, and the kids grow up and come to these basketball games and can't wait to be in high school and just watch these games. And is that like, is the community the school,
that's a
or
good
is the
point.
school like, is
There's,
school
like,
community?
Like you were saying, like how kids when they grow up, because like when we do all those things and go to the high school, we look up to the high schoolers so much.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really thought about that, but like I guess one thing an exec has shown me is people look up to you, and like people notice what you're doing,
Yeah.
even even if you're not even aware of it. So
Yeah.
even when I've thought about it a couple times, but I haven't given a good thought. But when we came to the high school, we looked up to those people, and there's definitely people that I still look up to, like Luke or Landon
Mhm.
Bostwick.
Yeah.
There's just people that you go to school with, right? And then I was only with school a year with Landon, but he still made a huge impact on me, and like that completely changed who I am,
Mm-hmm.
just in
100%.
passing. And so just to think that there's all those kids in junior high that we were making an impact on, but we don't even know,
Yeah. Seriously.
is huge. So I think it's like we have a bigger responsibility than just like working through high school ourselves, but we have to be very mindful of how are we presenting ourselves, because would we want all of the junior high kids to act that way? Because we, like a lot of the times, people make fun of the freshmen, or that's just a thing that happens. I don't know if that's the same with every school. I would assume it is.
Definitely, probably.
But like that probably affects them a lot, because I remember I didn't really mind, but I know that some of my friends really did care, and it was really hurtful. Like they look up to these people so much, and then they're just like, no, you don't care because like you don't matter because
Like,
you're a
not good
freshman.
enough, you're a
Yeah.
freshman.
So I mean, like, I think that definitely sets precedence for like how you view school, because I was lucky to have very good friends or examples, like again Landon Bostwick or Luke Christensen. Luke Christensen, I knew him before exec. I knew of him, I should say. He was in a couple of my seminary classes, and he made a big impact on me because I saw how passionate he was, and I've talked to him many times, and he doesn't feel like he was. We'll save that for a next video. But basically, how he acted really impacted me, and it made me want to step out of my shell more, and that's completely changed how I am, because I started doing. I ran for exec, and I was so excited because I heard that Luke was doing it, and so it just made it all that much better.
I love that.
And so, really, I guess also choosing who you're allowing to affect you is huge. I mean, like even with life, but with high school, it will just completely change your high school experience.
Yeah, 100%. I was actually talking to my mom about this literally yesterday, which is crazy. That's so funny. But we were talking about like the people that you look up to, you are just becoming another version of them. Like if you start to act like the person you want to become, you will inherently like start becoming that person. And having all of these good examples in exec and like all around your life, you can formulate the person you want to be, which is just crazy. Like you become all of the good qualities that you look out for in other people, but it can also be taken negatively as well.
Like sorry, were you saying?
No, you're going on.
Like 2 or 3 days ago, someone was literally told me, like in passing, they're just like, "You're turning into Luke," and I was like, that's a great compliment. Like
Yeah.
everyone has their flaws,
Yeah.
but a lot of the things that I feel like I lack in, Luke is great at.
Yeah.
And so the fact that someone would say that I'm turning more into Luke, hopefully I'm keeping the things that I'm good at, but at
Yeah.
the same time, that's definitely what I've been shooting for. I've been shooting to like be more passionate and get out of my bubble a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And like I keep drawing back to this, but Exec has really pushed me to do that.
Yeah.
And then being around Luke and you, like you're a huge example to me.
Aw, thank you.
And so you guys are really good at some of the things that I feel like I lack in. And so, like you said, even just like the fact that you look up to them, you're gonna just in passing grow more and grow into those people. And that's like a huge examples. Like examples.
Yeah.
Like just choose who you look up to.
And it just goes back and forth, like, am I being the example I want to be for the underclassmen? Like, I think about this all the time. Like, right before Christmas, I was thinking to myself, am I being the example I had? And it really hit me hard. I was like, I need to do better for these underclassmen. I need to create better relationships because I needed those people. And who do they have? You know, I want to be this somebody they can look up to. And this happened to me like the other day. Somebody showed gratitude, one of the underclassmen in exec, and they showed gratitude and was like, I'm running for exec again because of you and things like that. And I'm like, this is exactly the person that I've always wanted to be.
Yeah.
And having moments like that is just so gratifying.
Yeah, there's wait, oh my gosh, I forgot what I was gonna say. That sucks. Wait, okay, just go back to like a few sentences ago.
Gratifying, like the people in exec looking up to you.
Oh yeah, so something that's been like this is I've heard everyone talk about this, but just the fact that growing up, right? You don't realize that it's getting so close until it's there.
Oh, good
and
heavens.
I literally was like, no. I was so set in stone that I was like, I realized this. And I do think that I was a little bit there just because a couple months ago I was just planning out some things like if I only saw these people for however long we have left, like 2 years, what would I want to like tell them or what would I want to show them in those 2 years if I never see these people ever again? That's something that helped me get out of my shell again a little bit more with like my beliefs. Like it made me Luke, and because Luke is very open about it, and I try to be open about it and just natural about it, because if I never saw these people ever again, I would definitely hope that I shared that with them just because I feel so passionately about them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So along those lines, there's a lot of things like that I've been hoping that people allow me to be an example, but at the same time, like I didn't even realize that I could be an example because I was like, oh, I'm the same as them. But now I'm realizing like I'm turning 17 and next year is my senior year. Next year I'm going to be like Landon or like Luke. I will be that age where 4 years like doesn't seem like a big difference, but when it's like 5%, 10%, I don't remember, I don't know numbers, but when it's like percentage-wise of your life, that's a big difference. When there's a big difference between freshman year and senior year, you learn a lot in those 4 years,
Absolutely.
like life-changing. So if you can help them get a little bit further ahead, that way they can make more out of their high school experience, that's amazing.
Exactly. Like just creating more leaders.
Yeah.
Like if you can be that positive example for somebody, like even just like the people that you don't even know who they are, like if they have this idea of you, they can just strive towards that, and it's just like, but it can also be like so much pressure.
Yeah.
And that's something I've like completely learned my earlier years, like freshman, sophomore year. Like I thought I had to be perfect for every single person, and the entire school was in my hands. Like it's a team. We are a team. Like it can't work without everyone, and we all mess up a little bit. Like we're not perfect, and a big thing is like realizing that and giving yourself grace.
Would you say that like you learned those things through experience, or would you say that there was like some conscious effort that you took, like journaling about it? You were asking yourself these questions, like these things. Was it very intentional, or would you say it was like something that you just learned through experiencing?
Absolutely through experiencing, because sometimes I would come home from school and I felt like I was the only one stressing about it, but I was so stressed about exec. Like absolutely like are people going to come to this event? It's all on me. If it doesn't, it looks bad on me. This looks bad on the school. I'm here for the school. And then just realizing, like, I cannot live my life like this. I can't live my life like, it's not just me. It's everyone. And you can't completely change people's point of view on life. And I feel like that's a big thing with this year. So if you want to go more in depth on that, like, you can't make people be positive. You can't make people do anything for that matter. And you just have to be okay with that and realize that it's not a direct show of you. It's, yeah, you just have to be okay.
Yeah. So, going back to how it affects the community, what are some things that we should draw attention to? Because what are some issues we see in the school that may be reflecting, like, be an example of how our community is, like our community health? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. First thing that comes to mind is the difference between football games and basketball games. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So our whole community is based upon, like, our basketball team is so good, like, da-da-da-da-da. But, like, everyone strives to be on the basketball team, and, like, it's just the biggest thing. But, like, the community raises these children to think that our football team sucks. They raise the children to think that our school is just rinky-dink, whatever, small town. But really, if we instill, like, if the parents instill, like, pride in their children of, like, this is an amazing place to live, they are going to be more enjoy high school more.
Yeah, we were talking about the law of attraction earlier. Even though, like, obviously our school has a lot of problems, and it's definitely not even close to being perfect whatsoever.
I feel like no school is perfect.
Yeah, but, not but, and. I don't want to, like, say that you're wrong or anything. But, if we're telling kids, like, the high school is bad, or, like, oh, well, you're bad at math because you're from Preston, or, like, yeah, I hear that so much.
Exactly.
Like, if you're telling people that, then they're going to believe that, and then you're not going to be able to change. You can't
practice what you preach.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if our whole community is telling each other that our school is bad, then you're going to believe that our school is bad, and we're not going to change, we're not going to grow. And, like, even if it's just a placebo effect, even if those problems are still there, but if we believe that they're better, then that's going to make it a huge improvement.
Absolutely.
If we, like, tell each other that our school is great and it's something to be proud of, you want to improve things that you're proud of. So if we are proud of the school, then we're going to want to improve it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if we have the community involved. If the whole community is working towards building a better school or having a better program, plus all the students, or even just some of the students, because I know that a lot of the students, you know, everyone's going through their own things. And sometimes it's more important to help yourself so that way you can help others in the future. But I think that'd be monumental. Change the whole community, because if we can focus on the positives, then
Focus on the good.
Yeah, focus on the good, or even in constructive criticism. Even if it's like you are pointing out the bad, but here's a solution. Instead of just shooting everyone down, we can shoot them down, but then build them up higher than they were before.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's just a big thing that I didn't think about that until you said that, but that'd be huge.
Yeah, seeing the positive, like, if we all can just look at the positive and just, like, kind of, like, subside the negative, then we can focus in on the positive, build it up, and then the negative will just be, like, obviously we need to draw attention to things that need to be drawn attention to, but everyone, if we just changed a little bit of, like, mindset, and honestly, it's just about personal example, in my opinion. That's what a lot of leadership is putting your personal example first. And just, like, in all life itself, not even just in school. Like, when we grow up and we got to go into the workforce, if we are being positive about life, I don't feel like any path can be negative. I feel like if we make a life for ourselves that is positive and lead our life with gratitude, I feel like not much can.
Gratitude is the opposite of fear, and you can only have one emotion in your body at the same time. So if you're full of fear, you can't be full of gratitude. But at the same time, if you're full of gratitude, you can't be full of fear. So that's why I think gratitude journals are huge. I mean, I suck at doing my gratitude journal.
I love gratitude.
But if you're grateful for the things you have, then it's going to be hard to be fearful about what's coming. Because if you are so positive about what's happened, how could it not be great?
Yeah,
you know?
that's so true.
Yeah, that's just
So
huge.
true.
I just
Like,
yeah.
a lot of us, juniors, seniors, are having a lot of struggles about, like, what am I going to do with my life?
It's huge.
And then one of my friends told me, she was like, regardless of what happens, I know I'm going to find a good life for myself. I know I'm going to find somebody to love, and I know I'm going to create a good life for myself. And I was like, that's great. Like, no matter what path you take, if you think you're going to create a good life for yourself, you're going to. Or, like, even with the seasons, like, if you are not grateful for, like, the season you're in, you're not going to be grateful for where you want to go. And when you get there, because you're going to be constantly thinking about the negative.
Another plug to her YouTube channel. She talks about the winter. Yeah. So do you want to talk about that?
Just like what I was saying, like different seasons bring different things to you, and if you're gonna be great, you just gotta be grateful for every experience you have. Like a few years ago, I hated winter. You know, like I just had like this is sophomore year. Seasonal depression is a big thing. It's a big thing. Like for my family, literally a lot of people have seasonal depression. But it's all about what can winter give you? What can this experience give you that you can be grateful for? Like, every single experience you've ever had gives you something. What can you take from it? And what you take from it is all about mindset.
Great.
Turn up.
Okay, so I think that's good. You want to call it off there?
I love it.
All right. Like and follow for part 2.
Peace.